Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Q&A show on Inside the Birds platform. We are excited to be back for the 2024-25 season. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Avant. I'm here with my main man, Quintin Mikell. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Man, it feels like it's been about 10 years since we've been on here, man. It's awesome to be back, excited to talk some ball, and, great seeing you again. You look good as always, man. And yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Q, you out? You enjoying yourself? You enjoyed your family this summer? You enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, man, we had a great summer. Got to travel. I actually came back to New Jersey for a few days. Did a lot of football, coaching, and watching my kids play and compete in different sports and activities. So the summer was awesome. I had a good summer. How about you?
It was good, man. Awesome. It was good. Me and the kids went on a lot of trips and vacations, and they got a chance to go through Europe and a couple different
Okay.
countries. It was good to see them excited, seeing different way of life. They realized that we were a little bit lazy over here when you got to do all that walking up and down all them stairs because they are definitely not ADA accessible over in Europe. That was built way before anybody cared about accessibility. So it was a fun time, fun experience. Family enjoy. Now I'm excited about football. Glad to be back. Before we get into the show, we want to do our house keeping. Make sure that you guys follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, email your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Again, insidethebirds@gmail.com. Make sure that you're following Inside the Birds on all of the platforms. We want to say thank you to Jeff and to Adam and Josh and everyone that's responsible over at Inside the Birds for allowing us to be on this platform again. And thank you guys for always tuning in. Let's make this season the best season thus far. All right, let's get right into the show right now. We are talking about a revamped, retooled, higher power offense coming in through Nick Sirianni's football team. Jalen Hurts at the helm, new offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, new defensive coordinator and Vic Fangio, a litany of new players. You have Jeff's favorite, Jahan Dotson. You got another Penn State great and Saquon Barkley. Look, what are we doing with all this Penn State? Oh my gosh. But they are some ballers, and we have them on our team now. A lot of acquisitions in the offseason. Q, the impact of Kellen Moore's offense. What did you see with the impact of Kellen Moore's offense?
Yeah, man. To me, the biggest thing I think is I noticed experience, composed play calling that made sense, play calling that put the stars in position to make plays. I mean, you talk about Saquon, you get Saquon, he's 24 carries, 109 yards. He looked fantastic out there. Jalen Hurts, 20 of 34. You got AJ Brown, 5 catches, Devontae, 7 catches, Dallas Goedert, 4. So, a smart play caller, creative, and he spread the ball around and he got his playmakers the ball in position to do damage. And that's really all you want. You got all these weapons, use them. And so I'm excited about it. He's a Boise State guy, so always got love for him right there. And I think he's going to do a phenomenal job as we progress through the season.
Awesome. I agree with you. The Eagles win 34-29 against the Packers, and they were able to do it with a high-powered offense. The high-powered offense that they had was able to overcome a lot in Jalen Hurts' mistakes. But the one thing that you saw consistently, unlike you saw the last 8 games of the season, you saw guys running wide open. It wasn't a bunch of contested catches. It wasn't a bunch of just insane hero ball type of plays, where it's Devontae Smith going up and out athleting the guy, or AJ Brown physically imposing himself and catching a tough slant. A lot of times these guys were on free and in space on third downs. There was a lot of room, a lot of space for Jalen Hurts to be accurate. And I thought Jalen Hurts was really accurate this game. And besides, 3 or 4 throws. Um, with that being said, like I said, you saw the motion, you saw the attention to detail and how fast the ball was snapped, you saw the balance. And I think that Saquon Barkley catching the ball out of the backfield was huge for us. The offensive line getting double teams, getting up to it. I thought that besides the mistakes of Jalen Hurts, this offense looked unstoppable at times. That it just seems like you have no answer, especially if Saquon is being featured the way that he is. He looked like the person that they were designing the offense for, which I like, because you don't pay a guy that type of money and not feature him. You have to give him the same looks that Christian McCaffrey has and everybody else, because he is probably your most special player, him and AJ Brown. But I think Saquon will be the most special player. The reason why is because he's the hardest to guard. He's the hardest to guard when it comes to running the rock. He's the hardest to guard when it comes to pass coverage. He's the hardest. He has the best matchup each and every time. So I think it's only beneficial to everybody on the team. So I love the way Kellen Moore's offense looked. It looked like we went from a JV offense right to an NFL offense again. So it was great to see. Somebody open on every play. I loved
Absolutely, absolutely.
it. Now, when it comes to Jalen Hurts' performance, talk about it. Jalen Hurts' performance, and we're going to break it down here. Jalen Hurts' performance.
Well,
Why
at
you
times he
sighing?
looked at times he looked brilliant. Threw on timing, accurate. Had a little, looked like he had poise. And then in some plays, it's just like, what were you thinking there? Like the first interception he threw. We're barely into the first drive, and I don't know what he saw. I don't know why he threw that. I mean, he threw the middle read to Devontae, and it was like five DB, five DBs right there. So I think he's still working through some things. I think at times he feels comfortable, and I think at times, a couple of times I've seen him leave the pocket early without really get. As a matter of fact, on the second interception, I believe, um, which was in high red zone, um, he left the pocket early without even really any pressure, and so still some bad habits there, but it's the first game of the year. I still don't think the way the preseason is worked is beneficial for any offensive players early in the season, or defense. I think the way the preseason goes, when you don't really play much and then you don't really play literally for like 2 weeks, I think there's always going to be some kind of sluggishness, if you will, on that first game. So we'll just attribute it to that, and hopefully he learns from these mistakes and he continues to be the player
Yeah.
that we know he can be.
Yeah, some things. I'm gonna start with the bad first, right? Matter of fact, let me start with the good. Let me start with the good. So, the first touchdown to Saquon Barkley on the wheel route, that's double post. Is double post basically halfback wheel. They got a cover three, so the middle guy in the double post runs 1 yard across the safety face. He usually takes his guy and the middle safety away, and then the outside corner has basically ends up 1-on-1 with Devontae on the outside, which he had him as well. So he waited until the flat defender was 1-on-1 with Saquon, and which was a linebacker at that point, or man to man. It was tough to tell if it was cover one or cover three in that situation, the way they were playing it. But Saquon on a linebacker or a flat defender, second level defender, that's not nickel, that's a weak side linebacker, it's tough. He's going to be faster than everybody. So a great play design, use motion off of it, great play design. He was able to sift through the line of scrimmage, started in the backfield, was able to get all the way to the flat to look back, then turn up. That's a hard thing to do. Normally, you have to flank a guy out in order to get that will accomplished. He was able to do it from his standing backfield position, right? So that was pretty impressive and just a great throw by Jalen Hurts. That was
Yeah.
just a dime, a complete dime
Absolutely.
coming out at a halftime. AJ Brown jawing with Jair Alexander most of the game, talking stuff back and forth. Jair is one of the loudest corners in the league, always talking jump. So to see AJ Brown get him on a double move coming right out of halftime and a perfect ball placement to give you yards at the catch. One thing that you'll notice in that game is that you saw a lot of catches and runs. And for you guys to say Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts this and Jalen Hurts that, in order to get catches and runs, your quarterback has to be accurate. When
Yeah.
your quarterback is inaccurate, that's when you get catch and fall down, catch and get hit, catch and something else besides yards after the catch, right? So when you see a guys, Devontae Smith running out the catch, AJ Brown running out the catch, Dallas Goedert running out the catch, Saquon running out the catch, everybody that game ran out the catch, that means the quarterback was extremely accurate. So yes, he made some dumb throws, and I would say four of them that was really bad. But when you look at the whole game plan, his guys had a lot of catch and runs, which is two things. One is the quarterback's accuracy, and it's the offensive coordinator getting guys open consistently, right? So I thought that from that standpoint, Jalen Hurts did good. Let's talk about the bad, and you can jump here anytime, Q.
Oh
The
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
You talked about it. Cover two, backed up, 3rd and 15. It's the first drive, Jalen. It's 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15. You're backed up. You're inside of your own 5 yard line. You're backed up, meaning that you need positive yards just to get a safe punt off. Anything inside of 5 yards, in backed up into your own end zone is a disaster waiting to happen. That's the worst play in football for everybody on the punt team.
Yeah.
Trying to block somebody from the
You're right.
3 yard line when the dude doesn't have enough space to punt. You and I know that. I hate that play in football. I hate it. That's one play that you don't know that nobody wants to be in. Am I lying, Q?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
you are not lying.
that's the scariest play in football. Right? So what you do is that the first thing I was watching the game and I was watching the game and I said to the person next to me, I said they should run a draw, quarterback draw and or running back draw. Get out of there safe. Get the ball and punt it is good. This dude cover two, Tampa two, the Mike linebacker, Kendricks, is as deep as everybody else out there. He's 25 yards down the field, running right smooth. And all the Kendricks can run. All of them can run.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's running right down the middle of the field, smooth right there with the DB. He already got 10 yard heads with the receiver, 10 yard head start. It's 3rd and 15. You don't think the safeties are going to be knowing that they have a weakness in cover two? Yeah, Xavier McKinney. Oh, okay, he gonna go right there. I'm looking at him the whole time. Pick. Come on, man. It's 3rd and 15. You got a middle runner. You think they just gonna let him run down the field? It's Tampa too. You should be off of it anyway.
Yeah.
With a fast linebacker.
Yeah,
So
man.
like that play just grinded my gears because of the situation. It's okay to punt. With this
Agreed.
team that you have and how explosive the team is, all you have to do is not turn the ball over, and you don't even have to be great at times. You just have to be mistake free. And if you are mistake
Yeah.
free most of the time and you make a play here and there, you're going to look like a world beater. Talk to me. That's Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He plays safe football, doesn't turn it over, and then when he has to make a throw, he makes the throw. That's the quarterback position. You don't have to be Tom Brady to come back. You don't have to be this person to come back. You just got to make the right decision, and that decision was bad. The two throws that almost cost us the game at the end of the game, the pick, but the one before the pick, with the guy on the sideline, he threw a flat route that was 2 yards down the field that you're not going to gain yards on one. The guy that was defending him was literally within 3 yards of the receiver, and you throw a flat route inbound 2 yards away with a defender right there to the sideline. I almost broke the television. That one, the pick was a bad play. But that play on the sideline before that, the one that should have been picked, the one that got the guy dropped it. I was like, man, that play right there, that one right there, I was like, boy, that I almost crashed out on that one. I almost lost the television on that
one. I can see it right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, I almost lost television on that one. That one there, I almost lost one. I almost lost television on that one. I wouldn't lie. So and then the pick rolling out to. So here's the thing. The end of the game pick. He could have stepped up in the pocket. He ends up rolling right, which everybody knows that he's going to roll right. But KYP, know yourself, know your personnel, know you. You don't have a Josh Allen arm. Your arm is strong. It's good. It's strong. This is no Joe Milton arm. This is no, arm that's just out of this world. It's a good, serviceable NFL quarterback arm, but it ain't an arm that can throw against the grain and behind the body, back on the opposite side of your body, and throw a laser into a place. This not Pat or Josh.
Yeah.
Like, so just know yourself and stay within you. Dare to be great, but don't go on the other side of just delusional. And I thought that play was just delusional. Like, what?
Maybe you thought AJ was gonna bail him out, man. Like, maybe just say my guy right there.
AJ is nice. AJ ain't 3 defenders nice though.
You're right.
Like, at least give him a shot, but 3 defenders nice? No, he ain't 3 defenders nice. He 2 defenders nice. If they run, not 2 defenders looking at him, but like 2 defenders, both of y'all running down the field, jockeying for the ball together, like go ball. 1.5 on 1. I may do that.
Yeah, I can see
3? Nah. I ain't doing it. All right, I done beat that up. Q, you want to get in there at all?
No, man, you did a good job on it. I mean, that's exactly what I saw. I just want to know what he was thinking. That's all, man. Like you said, I mean, you put it perfectly. You got so many weapons. You just sometimes just don't mess it up. Just let the game come to you. Don't force anything, and you're good. So
less is more, man. Less is more in this situation. It's like a dude they got on a dope pinstripe suit, but he want to go and put a pinstripe shirt on, and then a striped tie on, and then he got cufflinks on, then he got chains on. You just do it. It's too much, man. Just let the pinstripe suit take care of the rest and make everything else clean. Make it straight, solid color. Don't do too much, man. This one you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, man. You don't need to add all the sauce to your steak, man. It's already a tomahawk. You already got a tomahawk. Just cook it medium rare.
Just a little salt, a little pepper.
Little salt, pepper. I don't need Cajun seasoning on it, Old Bay. I don't need all of that. It ain't the meal. All right.
Oh man, that's so real. Oh man.
O-line play, Q. O-line play. O-line. Oh my gosh.
I thought it was solid. I thought it was a solid performance.
I thought Tyler Steen was going to start, but Mekhi Becton ended up starting. I thought he did great. For not great, but did really good. So you had out there, you had Jordan Mailata, you had Landon Dickerson, you had Cam Jordan at center, you had Mekhi Becton, and then you had Lane Johnson out there. That was your starting line. I thought that they did good based on Saquon's numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't really be upset with that. The one fumble, that was early in the game.
Or was Cam Jurgens second,
Aaron snap.
second series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was probably the only thing. But he's, first time starting at center. Um, new position. Well, not kind of new position. But I thought overall the offensive line did well. I mean, those guys
yeah.
are good.
He's gonna get cadence and Jalen's like changes and his audibles down. So I was just disappointed that nobody was able to get on it in time. But other than that, I thought that they did good. I thought that Mekhi Becton, like on a few of those runs, especially on um, Saquon's touchdown run to the right, that double team that they had, him and Cam Jurgens, opened up a hole that was so big. And then there were times where Saquon was able to sift through backside in order to find holes. Like he had some extra juice in that Q. We always talk about this on Inside the Bird when it comes to Saquon, and we talk about him not being able to finish through, like not picking up that extra 2 yards after contact. Not this past night. I don't know if he was
Mm-hmm.
just revitalized, rejuvenated, happy that he wasn't on a losing team anymore. But he looked like Saquon of old for sure, like college Saquon. He had so much juice and so much explosion in his legs that he was running through, moving the pile. I was like, normally Saquon and the Giants, go watch this Giants tape the last couple years. When contact comes, he go down. He like, man, I ain't got time to be fighting. This is a 1v11 right now. I ain't got time for this.
I mean, it literally is 1v11. With Danny Dimes at quarterback, they had, I don't even know, I can't even name any of the Giants receivers, right? So I
Yeah,
guarantee you, every time he came to the lot to the out the backfield and he look across, he probably see like 10 bodies in the box just
yeah,
waiting.
looking at
Like
him.
we know you getting the ball in this play. So, I'm sure
Yeah,
he's happy to be here. He does look juiced up, but I'm sure he's happy. He got AJ Brown outside. He's got a quarterback, a competent quarterback. He's got Devontae, like he's got weapons that'll take the heat off of him. So yeah, I'd be juiced up too. I'd be juiced
right.
up too if I didn't have to face it. 8-man box every play.
I'm going to use this time to give a shout out to a local business, Art and Motion Dance Studio. Art and Motion Dance Studio in Turnersville, New Jersey. That's where I go to dance salsa. Anybody want to come out dance salsa with? Travel the world, dance, do all that stuff. Art and Motion Dance Studio in Turnersville, New Jersey, does bar mitzvah, school dances, sweet 16s, wedding dances, but also salsa, bachata, merengue. Also and does fitness classes. So Art and Motion Dance Studio, Turnersville, New Jersey. Let's get to the other side of the ball, Q, and let's talk about some more new faces. We just talked about Saquon. You made some great points on Saquon. Let's get into Vic Fangio, and I know you probably are chomping at the bit for that.
Yeah.
Vic
Yeah, the
Fangio.
defense yeah. It's funny, man. When they first signed him, I really wasn't. I was kind of like middle of the pack. I was excited because he brings a ton of experience. He can coach the entire, like all three levels of the defense very well. He makes solid calls. He makes solid decisions with his personnel. So from that point of it, I was very happy. On the other side of it, I just, for me, traditionally, I have not known him to be more of a pressure guy. But
Mm-hmm.
he was bringing pressure this last game. I mean, the biggest thing that I noticed from watching the tape was seeing linebackers just playing downhill and shooting gaps, almost looking like pressures sometimes. I mean, I think they highlighted
That
it a couple
Bond,
times. Um,
Bond, and Kobe Dean.
Braun, Braun coming down, Dean coming down, shooting gaps, sometimes just straight up pressuring. So I love the fact that the linebackers are playing more aggressive. I love the fact that the D line, I mean, they're always going to be good. Secondary's changing up the coverages. You got some young talent mixed with some older talent, some experience. It was just like it's coming together very nicely, and I think the biggest thing that Fangio brings to the table is just that experience and the ability to be able to, teach and show different things to an opposing team. And I think that's something that's been missing for a very long time.
Yeah, I think
Did you hear
that
that?
what is it? Yeah, when I
Sorry.
think that couple things. This is not Vic Fangio's fault. Um, I don't think it. I thought the defensive game plan was solid. We gave up some points, um,
Yeah.
but I guess it is. I don't know if it was the field. I don't know if it was Vic Fangio, but I do know is that run integrity was not there. Gap
Yeah.
integrity when it came to the run. This team averaged 7.8 yards a carry versus us, and they were the idiots that just refused to run it at times. There was times where they ran the ball an entire possession and scored a touchdown, and the next series they didn't run it one time. I was sitting there watching the game like, are you kidding me right now? I thank you so very much for not running the football. One, because the field was bad, but two, but our run fits were all the way off. And that's a Fangio thing, right? That in and of itself, like you got to get the guys ready to play now. They're going to get better as the season goes on. And yes, it's no preseason. It's all that everybody has to deal with it, but our run fits were atrocious at times. Let me give you an example. Jaden Reed's touchdown. They ran a reverse running left to right. Three dudes
That's
hit
what he,
contain. Three dudes. The corner was there, the safety that forced was there, and the linebacker that was inside. All of them went outside and left a huge hole right up. The lineman didn't even have to work that hard. They barely even touched anybody. It was wide open because everyone ran to one spot. And that right there kind of lets me know that I don't know what it is with this team, but misdirection for the last 5 years have been giving us all types of problems. Whenever a team run reverses, anything like that, misdirection, throwbacks, anything like that, they get yards on us. And I don't know what it is. And I just think that those plays, because they are not everyday plays and they're not all the way always rep, I think that we need to take time out to handle misdirection. And so
yeah.
I thought our run fits and misdirection and things like that was awful. Um, the amount of missed tackles, not just C.J. Garner Johnson tackling, but linebackers, Reed, a bunch of people, and I just think that part of that was the field, but it was a lot of guys just out of position and missing tackles. I don't know if we had more yards after the carry and yards after the catch in any game this season. Besides, I want to look at that stat. We need to look at that. See who had the most yards after the catch and yards, um, you know, after yards rushing. That in the first week in the NFL. Like I think it was that game. That may have something to do with the field. The other
Yeah.
point I wanted to make with Vic Fangio's defense, I like the change up of coverage. I like a bunch of the things. I think that um, I would be happy when Isaiah Rodgers get back because
Yeah.
I think our best three corners would be Isaiah Rodgers, um, Mitchell, and Darius Slay. and I don't, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Cooper DeJean is going to have to get some reps, but I think those three are ahead of Avante Maddox and some of the other guys that are out there, Keely Ringo, some of the other guys that are spelling guys. But Quintin Mitchell, Darius Slade, and Isaiah Rogers, I think that's our best pair, and we got to do a better job of being able to cover. And we didn't do the best job covering. And our safety tackling, oh my gosh!
All right.
But I like
So
the
let
defenses.
me
Sorry.
yeah. So no, I don't cut you off. So I will say this. I have more confidence in Vic Fangio writing all those things, like correcting all of the problems that you mentioned. Um, I believe again, I'm chalking it up to being in Brazil, crappy field, new coordinator. I'm chalking all that up to that, and I have faith that Vic Fangio is going to fix all those issues. Now, I do agree with you. The run fits were bad, like straight up terrible at times, but I do see promise in this defense. I do see room for growth, so I'm excited for that. Now, I will say this: a lot of people, you can say whatever you want. A lot of fans, you can say whatever you want. You can look at it however you want. When you play in another country and you're playing, and I've done this before. Have you ever played abroad?
Mm-hmm.
You've played abroad, and you've
Mm-hmm.
played in another stadium on a soccer field. The field is absolutely when it's completely different from what you used to. I think it affects defensive players way more than offensive players. Offensive players, most of the time,
You're a
they're
better
running
athlete.
forward. See, I don't know about that. All right? I don't think so, right? Because defense, especially defensive backs, man, we everything is a reaction. Matter of fact, man, the every single play, the first play you're doing is you're running backwards. Okay, all right. Tell
Uh,
me, uh, can AJ Brown do that? Can he backpedal and break
listen.
and
Defensive backs are receivers that weren't good enough to be receivers. That's who they are. If they were
I can
good
take
enough,
that.
they
I'll
would
take
be.
that.
So yes, is it hard? It's hard for 99% of the world. It's hard for most football players, but for receivers, no, it ain't hard.
Whatever, man. I'm tired of this
All right,
argument,
all
man. Y'all keep talking.
right.
But no, like seriously though, it's not as easy as people think, and I know, I know, CJ was kind of in the media talking about it. It's not as easy as it seems, but it definitely can be much better. I do think that the field had something to do with it, and I'm just tired of the NFL like sending guys like why can't they just build a football field somewhere? Like just build it in Brazil. Just only use it when the NFL comes over there, right? Why we got to play
No,
on a soccer field that's all slippery and wet? That's dangerous.
well, they got a lot of unused structures out there in Brazil from the Olympics. So you got something. Now, all you have to do, I won't say all you have to do because I'm not, in the, agriculture like that and being able to know which grass works the best. But if you have a certain grass combination that you have in the United States and you have a
Bluegrass.
year worth of yeah, you have a year worth of time. Why can't you grow your own stuff there? Like I don't understand. But I'm pretty sure it's deeper than what you and I would think. But I agree
I'm just
with
saying,
you.
man.
Yeah, no, I
Everything's
agree with
already geared. Everything's already geared towards the offense. I mean, you can't touch a guy. You can't hit too high. You can't hit too low. Now they got really uh kickoffs. Kickoffs are all different now. Now you gotta stand 2 yards from the guy. Like everything is like
you.
what can we do, man?
Q.
Help the defense
I
out, man. That's all I'm saying. Help us
I,
out.
I agree with you. You will never have in this point that you're making. You will never hear me argue against you on this particular point. I think that you guys are the men of the National Football League. The offense are the women. They get to smack you guys and get away with it. And if you hit them back, they call police. And you go to jail, no questions asked. That's what I think the National Football League has become. So I agree with you on this point for sure.
All right. Good.
Now, couple of things. N'Kobe Dean has to play a lot better.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter getting double teamed. Jordan Davis has to play better. Played better early. Gave up too many yards late in that, or in the middle of that game. I think our young defensive line, I think they came up big in moments. I thought our defense came up big in moments. Holding them to 2 sudden change field goals at the beginning of that game saved the game. Yeah. Stopping them twice later in that game when Jalen put the game in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right?
That was huge.
We're about to go up 8 points, and this dude throws a mindless interception in the end zone. Keep us up 5. Then they cut it to 2, right? Because they held them to a field goal. So there was multiple opportunities that Green Bay had to win that game that our defense showed up big. So I give credit to the defense in that perspective. So I don't want to be saying like, hey, that they did a bad job. I thought that they did an overall good job, just when it comes to run fits, when it comes to tackling those areas. N'Kobe Dean, dude, like, if you get an opportunity like this where there's no Devin White, they're saying basically you beat him out and he didn't travel because of all that, thinking about getting traded and all of that. Dude, you got to prove the organization right when you get that opportunity. You got an interception right in your hands that could have changed the complexion of the game early in the game right away. Also, being able to get off blocks when they're double teaming Jordan Davis and they're double teaming Jalen Carter, you got to have some free run throughs. How many times do we hear your name in the backfield? That's perfect time for you to get free run throughs. This game was a linebacker game because of the way they were playing up front. And our linebackers and our secondary defenders did not tackle well in those situations. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, Zach Bond made a lot of tackles, but it wasn't a bunch of tackles for loss. And then N'Kobe Dean, just not enough production in this game for the amount of snaps that you played. Got to get to the football more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I agree. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
I'm having faith.
We're getting there. It's not an end all be all. This is just week 1. So whenever we talk, It's just week 1. We're talking like that. We're not saying it's doom and gloom. I like the overall team. I think that our team is Super Bowl capable, very Super Bowl capable. I thought it was a good showing for week 1. Besides tackling, besides run fits, besides Jalen Hurts, Aaron throws. Now, and a few explosive plays. Now, give you the Jaden Reed deep cross touchdown. Jalen Reed is running left to right on a deep cross. It's cover 3. Cover 3 meaning the outside corner has a third, the middle safety has a third, and the other corner has a third. The play is long developing, so he's building ground across the field. Because the play was long developing, Darius Slay cut his zone short and took the underneath route. The underneath 3, 4, 5 yards is not what you should be looking at. I know that the play took longer, but you still have to get depth in your zone, come down to tackle the ball, right? We always play from high to low. 4 or 5 yards is not going to beat you. 45, 50, 67 yards will beat you every time. So Darius Slay got caught with how long the play was developing, and came down, which caused that deep cross to just come scot-free. The panic CJ Gardner-Johnson is trying to make a play one-on-one. Most safeties are not going to make that play with that much space against that type of player. That's a special player with the ball in his hand. I saw it at Michigan State. It took all of us to stop him when he was at Michigan State versus Michigan. Like, he's a special player. He just is. And their season turned around last year as they begin to get him into the game, into the offense last year. So he's that type of a player. And I don't know many safeties in that situation out of position because it really not his zone. Coming down, trying to make up for it is going to make that play because he had to run so far just to get in position to touch him.
Yeah.
And when you don't have time to break down, you're not making that tackle. Just hoping to turn it back. Huh?
No, I was going to say that's one of the hardest tackles in the world because you're full all the way open, like you're running a 100-meter dash, and the timing of it, like the second he catches it, he felt CJ right there, and you could see. I mean, it's damn near impossible. The only thing you really can do is just try to push him out of bounds right there. I mean, that's tough.
You try to push him out of bounds, turn him back, something like that. You got to make one of those decisions. Like, I'm going to pick a side and just hope for the best. This tackling him is going to be slim to none. You got to be you got to be out of this world tackle. You will like that though in open field. And a lot of y'all need to go watch some Quintin Mikell tape now. Q was one of the best tacklers in the National Football League when it comes to open field tackles now. Q done saved many a games with one-on-one tackles with nobody else around. That's just the truth. They got to know who they talk to. When we talk about this, you may like your famous player and the dude that made the Pro Bowl. That don't mean nothing when you look at the film. Certain dudes show up every single time, and when it comes to one-on-one tackles and short tackle, ain't nobody better than you when it came to that. I tell you that. All right. And
appreciate it.
That's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. So that was that play. There are other plays that those were the two big ones, and so those were plays that we gave up that were kind of explosive. What else I want to talk about before? We did have a lack of pass rush.
Yeah.
But you think we need one more? You think we need to figure out a way to get Hassan Reddick back here?
Ooh.
He don't want to play for the Jets.
I know. I mean,
we need to trade Bryce Huff back. Bryce Huff had one tackle. Hold on. Let me see. Or Bryce Huff had one tackle. Dude, I'm like, dude.
With a normal GM, I would say that there's no way we could get him back. But with Howie and the way he's been willing and dealing, anything is possible. And that if we get him back, it's a wrap. It's over.
Bruh. I saw BG in there playing for 7 snaps and got a tackle. And getting quarterback pressures. Like BG had 15 snaps, had more production than you having 40 snaps. That ain't something right about that. Maybe just bad game. I'm just saying, like we got to get there now. We got to get there. No TFLs, no, just one tackle. That's the only stat he got on the sheet.
Man, I still feel like Nolan Smith is not. I don't think he's really a DN. I think he's better suited inside. That's just me personally, or maybe outside. Like I don't see his pass rush. So
he actually he actually put more pressure on than Bryce Huff did.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was running around the edge. I get what you're saying though, because he was running around the edge, and it works. Running around the edge works, but you need like it only works if you got like a dominant defensive tackle, somebody that can crash it, send them to you from the other side. But yeah, he's a small guy, and he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what
Um,
you're saying is how we make it happen? Get
how we
ready
can
back.
get Hassan Reddick back? I think we're gonna need one more. I think we're gonna need we got to have some pass rush because if you look at the games yesterday, you look at the Steelers play yesterday. T.J. Watt closing out the
Yeah.
game. You look at the
Yeah.
Cowboys game, DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons wreaking havoc the entire game. You look at every
Yeah.
game you've seen these ends, like not every game, but the
Take
games
over.
for the good teams, you see the ends wrecking the game. And no, we
Yeah.
play good defense, but nobody wrecking the game. Yeah. All right. That's all we got right there for the Q&A show this week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you email your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Again, insidethebirds@gmail.com. Our outlook on this is that my outlook is that it's a positive direction. We talked about some positive things, we talked about some negative things, but my overall outlook is positive. I believe this team is Super Bowl talent wise. I believe that if Jalen cleans up his act and makes sure that he's protecting the football and doing his assignment, his role, he does not have to be Patrick Mahomes in this offense. Brock Purdy will win you a Super Bowl in this offense because of all the weapons that we have. So defense will get better. That's my take. What about you? You got the last word, Q.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Game one, different country. I'm hoping that, um, the issues that we're seeing right now, hopefully they're fixed pretty quickly. And yeah, man, it's just positive. I'm just happy. Listen, man, I'm happy we got one of my Boise State guys at the helm calling plays. I'm happy that the offense at times looked explosive. I'm happy to see a little bit of progress with the defense. And overall, I'm just happy to see a general plan or scheme that makes sense, right? Like it just feels like there's a plan moving forward. And it's just the beginning steps of the plan. And my hope is that it's just going to get better and better and better. And by the end of the year, we'll be happily celebrating another Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Don't want to put too much on the team right now, but that's just where I'm looking at right now. So,
No,
yep, all good.
I definitely agree. I agree. We definitely have it in house this year. Last year we knew that we could not make adjustments because we had a lot of young coaches. Now we have veteran coaches and that have been around the block. That's a comforting thing. So and
Absolutely.
that is the Q&A show. Thank you to Jeff. Thank you to Adam. Thank you for everyone for having us. Thank you to the fans and everyone that's tuning in. Make sure that you catch us every Tuesday on YouTube channel Inside the Birds. I'm Jason Avant. That's Quintin Mikell. Peace out to everybody. Send your questions to us. Let's root on the Birds to beat the Falcons on Monday night.